with another segment of Easy Elegance. Today I'm going to show you how to do a few really fun centerpieces with just some things I have from around my house, but they're featuring tea lights. Tea lights are inexpensive little candles that everyone loves to use, but the most common complaint that I hear is, what do I put them in? Tea light holders can be kind of pricey, especially if you want 5 or 6 or 8 or 10 or 12 of them to go across your dinner table. So what I like to do is scout around the house and see what I have for containers that I can set the tea lights in. So that's what I'm going to show you today, and then how to incorporate those into a couple of fun centerpiece ideas, again with things that I just have around the house. So we start with the not so pretty little tea light. They're a fabulous little invention, but the little containers aren't all that pretty, and you definitely want to keep them in the container because as they melt you want something catching the wax. So you start out with that, and like I said, I took a peek around my house and just thinking outside the box, picked some things out of my cabinets that I thought would make great containers for tea lights. So these are little dessert cups, little compotes, and what I've done is just taken some pretty little glass beads and tucked the tea light down inside so it almost covers the ugly little silver container here. So that's one idea. Another idea is just finding teacups. I have lots of teacups. Taking some Epsom salt, which is wonderful to soak in. If you want to replace some of the minerals that we all lose throughout the day as we go through our activities, soaking in an Epsom salt bath is a wonderful thing to do. And it's also a wonderful thing to pour into any container. It's kind of sparkly. It looks a little bit like sparkly snow. And you can tuck your tea light right down inside. See how pretty that looks? The inside of this teacup is actually painted. So when it's sitting on the table and you look at the candle, you actually see the pretty design inside the teacup as well. Here's another little compote. I have a few of these from my mother-in-law. And again, I just took the pretty little glass stones that you can find at any craft shop, very inexpensive. And these are wonderful for lots of different decorative uses. So that's another little idea. And then I have this really pretty little condiment holder, Tracy Porter design. So it's all painted inside, which you can't see because I've poured the Epsom salt in. But it makes a really pretty little holder. Filled all these with Epsom salt, and then you just kind of tuck your candle down in there and push the salt up around the edge, making sure that it's sitting straight. And again, another clever little container for your tea lights. I'm going to show you how I incorporated this little Limoges dish into my centerpiece. See how pretty that is? It's delicately painted, and then I've added some pretty little stones and put the tea light in, and it's going to be part of one of our centerpieces. So really you can use so many different elements. Start poking around in your cabinets and in your drawers. You'll see where I've actually used a couple of other elements here for the centerpieces that I haven't mentioned yet. So those are some basic things that you can fill up with Epsom salt or the pretty glass beads and set them around. Tea lights are wonderful to use at each place setting if you're doing a dinner party, or down the center of a table in between your florals or whatever else you've used as your centerpiece. In a bathroom, when you're entertaining, you want a little light in the bathroom. A little tea light done decoratively is a wonderful little touch. So lots of ways to use them. Now here's the first centerpiece. What I've done is I've taken an inexpensive mirror that I have. I found this for just a few dollars at some discount store, and I really liked it, and I purchased it with the intention of using it more for a table rather than being on the wall. I've taken a pretty little pink footed cake stand that I have. I've used some green stones and some iridescent. I've tucked the tea lights in. This is a real little rosebud that I tucked in there, and some silk rose petals, a little pair of birds that I have, and then a faux silk rose. And it's that easy. There you have a beautiful centerpiece. Let's see if I can get this thing to work. And you can have candlelight in your centerpiece. Remember, centerpieces should be low enough to see over. The guests sitting across from each other on the table, at the table, would want to be able to see over this, which is plenty low enough. And look how pretty the glow of that, as the candle flickers, it picks up the different facets and iridescent finish on the stones, and isn't that pretty? And don't save candles just for nighttime entertaining. You can use them during the daytime as well. So there we have the mirror centerpiece. And then this is a little bit smaller scale on your table. I've taken a footed silver tray. Again, I pick these up at flea markets and yard sales, little antique co-ops, and I only pay a few dollars usually for them. They're not perfect, but that's okay. I kind of like them with a little character. It kind of reminds me that they had a life before I brought them home. I'm using my little birds again, and this little dish that I told you about in the beginning, the Limoges dish, that's what I have here, with some of these pretty little beads, stones and beads, I guess they are. There's some pretty little pink flowers, and the green and white iridescent little stones. And this is a little package that I picked up, I think, on clearance at Pier 1 or somewhere like that, so for a few dollars. It doesn't have to be expensive. I tucked the tea light down in there and then just spread the beads around. I spread a few more around the tray. I added a little tiny pitcher of roses cut real close to the top. And then I have a purple cut glass, wine glass, that was a gift from a friend. And I've poured the Epsom salt inside, and I have a tea light in there as well. So you've got some height to your centerpiece, yet you can still see over it. Let's see if we can get this to light. And then we've got this little guy down here. And there we go. And again, the light shines off of the iridescent stones. It sparkles off of the sparkly Epsom salt. And isn't that a pretty centerpiece? Now look how easy these were. Just elements that you have around your home. Just kind of play around. See what looks nice grouped together, and you want a little height. It's nice to have some fresh flowers if you can, candlelight, a little sparkle, a little shimmer. It really is that easy. Thank you for joining me for another segment of Easy Elegance. Go light up your life today with some tea lights. Bye-bye.